garden friends, AJ here. So it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's roughly 80 degrees and it's March 30th. And usually in March, we call it March Madness in the garden community. Usually in March, we're doing a lot of pruning, a lot of cutbacks, a lot of garden bed cleanup. This time in spring, it is crazy. So I decided to take this opportunity right now. It's roughly, I don't know, probably 4:30, to come outside here and take advantage of this beautiful weather. So currently in the garden, we've got several things in bloom. Let me show you guys. We've got daffodils in bloom. All different varieties in bloom right now. Beautiful, right? My Burke Woodeye viburnum, it's starting to put on buds, as you can see. Beautiful. A lot of the garden bed has been cut back. There's that Rad Sunny knockout rose. I got to cut that back as well. The Catmint Walker's Low is putting on buds, as you can see. So it's usually not this warm this time in the month of March. Our last frost date will be April 11th through April 20th. Right here is a jessamine. This jessamine vine, this Carolina jessamine vine, puts on some beautiful yellow blooms, probably within the next 2 weeks, I'd say. It'll be covered in yellow sunny blooms. Right up here is a canadensis, a redbud, an eastern redbud. And as you can tell, it has that purple haze right now. So in the next week or so, it's gonna be totally covered in just magenta pink. Let's try to get up close here. So what's interesting about the canadensis, all the flower buds are directly on the bark. Directly on the bark of the tree. It's really fascinating to see. All along the branches, if I can focus, all along the branches are these flower buds. Really interesting. Here's my James Galway rose, fully leafed out. That residue actually is Captain Jack's. I made sure to come in here and saturate the leaves and the canes. But all the leaves have already pushed out of the plant. So blooms are not far behind. And of course, the hellebores are still trucking along. We're gonna have these blooms for the next month and a half, I wanna say. All the way until late April. These actually stay on the plant. And these girls are out and about, causing havoc back here on this side of the yard. Y'all think I got something for you, huh? I got nothing for you. So to the left, that's a Wyandotte. And then to the right, that's an Easter egger. And that right there, that black chick, she's supposed to be an Australorp, but I really think it's a mix. My climbing hydrangea has already fully leafed out. I'm expecting a lot of blooms from this baby this year. And back here near the chicken coop, I've got this, it's a deciduous magnolia. I'm on the fence as to what it is, but I'm sure it's one of the Jane magnolias. It's got an odd shape, being that it's so far in the back of the garden. And it used to be pretty shady back here. So as you can tell, it grew very tall and narrow, stretching up to the light. Most of the flowers are pretty open at this stage. It doesn't really have a scent. It doesn't really have a scent, which is kind of unfortunate. But the blooms really are a welcome sight at this time of the year. This PG hydrangea right here, definitely it's time for it to get its yearly prune. I actually skipped it last year. So this year I've really got to get rid of a lot of dead wood. And as you can see, it's starting to put on its buds. So anytime these paniculata hydrangeas start putting on their buds, it's time to give them a hard prune. Just like these arborescens back here as well. I still have all the old blooms to cut back. But again, as you can see, the leaves are starting to push out. So that's a good indicator when it's time to go ahead and cut everything back. So I've since bought some cherry trees. This one here is a Rainier cherry. This one has more of a orangey yellow tinge to the fruit. And it's supposed to be pretty sweet. This one right here is a Bing cherry. I mean, you guys can't really tell the difference. It's a cherry tree. And clearly there's no fruit on it right now. But this fruit, it's dark red and the taste supposedly is very sweet. And this one over here is a Van cherry. It's supposed to have more of a black color and it's also pretty sweet. They said it's really good for preserves and jams. So I'm gonna be really excited to, try my hand at making jams and jellies. But of course, all the leaf buds have already produced full leaves. Let's move my peach and plum tree closer to the house. So they fared a lot better over the winter in terms of, last frost and bud drop and all of that, and damaged stems. So there's the plum. I have to go in there and top that a little bit, probably take off about a good 2 feet, I want to say. The peach right here, those buds are just about to blossom. So the plant's full of buds right now. So as I stand underneath this magnolia, I gotta say, the smell is absolute heaven. It fragrances this entire garden. So hopefully it doesn't get too hot, because then all the flowers start to dry up. And yeah, I'd like to really enjoy this treat for at least another 2 weeks. You guys can see the Lady Banks. She's fully leafed out. And if you look ever so closely, you can actually see some flower buds. Our full bloom show is not too far away. This front bed right here by the carport's been retooled. See, I got that trellis. That's gonna have General Sirkowski clematis growing up on it. It's already putting out new shoots, and it's looking very promising. Then I moved 3 roll dial roses up here to kind of fill in the front. Can't wait to see that come into vivid bloom. But of course, not everything's beautiful, right? Look at all this work that needs to be done. This is the rear of the carport, and it needs a serious overhaul.